Hi, my name is Andrew Bennett. This speech is over the integration of architecture and construction management for Ball State University. Here's my audience.
Oh, look it up. Yeah, there you go. There we go.
Hopefully they're all there. All right. So, according to the Design Build Institute of America, shortly after the economic downfall back in 2008, the use of design build spiked from 29% of a non-residential market to, in 2005, 36% in 2008. Throughout the recession period, design build use continued to grow. And now, with the economy stable and steady, the use of design build has held steady around 40% for the last 3 years. This statement implies that the relationship between the contractor and architect is valued more than ever before. So that means that schools should start incorporating or expanding upon the teachings of this relationship. In this presentation, I will give several examples why Ball State University's architecture program and construction management program should be more of an integrated process. Currently, I am in pursuit of my bachelor's in architecture with a construction management minor. And in this case, I have seen and understood the correlations between both industries altogether, but I have also seen the lack of teachings from our architecture program here at Ball State as far as teaching more of a construction aspect that's very valuable and crucial actually to this today's industry. The importance of this topic is to acknowledge that many students who graduate with the architectural degree lack the complete set of skills needed for their career. All right, so looking at our main points, first I will touch on the bigger push for design-build projects today's industry, and then gain a better understanding of the relationships between the contractor and the architect, how construction documents play a very big role in between the two relationship, or the relationship between the two. And then also different aspects with construction involving scheduling or time and quality and also budget. So to begin, one major transition made in today's construction industry is building faster, cheaper, and also better. And here is a graph actually showing a 9-year period between 2005 and 2013, 10% growth actually from 2005, and that number actually continues to grow today, as I said prior. And design build is actually a project delivery method that involves the most verbal communication between the architect and the contractor. Along with this major move in industry, there is an emphasis put on communication between the architect and the contractor, whether it be verbally or non-verbally. And with this said, there is an integration, or the integration of the two programs at Ball State allows for a better understanding of the relationship between the architect and the contractor. So, according to Martin Sell, a member of the American Institute of Architects, while contractors and developers have been quick to adapt to a team-based project delivery method, taking on leadership of design build, many architects and engineers have, quote-unquote, buried their heads in the sand, hoping for the good old days of architect and or engineer leadership of traditional design build project delivery will return. But he has also foreseen that these days are all gone. So it's down to the relationship of architect and contractor morally. There is usually no contractual binding agreement between the architect and the contractor with the traditional project delivery method. And as you can see here, this represents the project delivery method, traditional, where the owner and architect both share a contract, and also the owner and contractor. But there's no contractual agreement between the architect and the contractor. It's just an exchange of information. So during the actual construction process of the construction phase of a project, the architect is needed most actually, and is also standard for their services to be used during this phase. But we have seen time and time again that the architect kind of backs down or plays off or lets the contractor do the rest of the work at that point of construction. S.S. Saucerman quotes, "It has been, in my experience, that most contractors prefer to perform the majority of their daily correspondence and interaction verbally, be it briefing the crews, negotiating the next job, or reprimanding a slow worker. At the same time, architects tend to shy away from verbal commitment or explanation, fearing both misunderstanding and liability." Another reason behind integration is that there's always a communication breakdown within the construction documents due to the fact that the architect is, quote unquote, the author of them and the reader is the contractor. So going back to this, we're going to see how the understanding of how construction documents are involved in both arenas. Architect Lee Callisti states, "Drawings are very interpretive, and they often need confirmation from the author to be sure they are understanding complex aspects before money is spent. Communication between the architect and contractor is done solely through construction documents and specifications, and with any project delivery method. Understanding how construction documents are interpreted by the contractor means more awareness of possible mistakes, communication errors, or other mistakes through this subjective language. Not a lot of architecture students nowadays are aware of these what change orders are, or RFIs, or as they are referred to as requests for informations are. And when an intern goes into a job unknowingly of these aspects, it can potentially cost a company several hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the project size. Lastly, quality, time, and budget are the three aspects to design and construction, but not all can be satisfied all at once. This is a, there we go. My fourth point is for people to gain a better understanding of scheduling, time, and budget. Although quality is most considered during designing, time and budget are also play a huge fact in designing phase, but not very well covered in architectural courses, as I have seen throughout my career in the architectural program. Collaborating with the contractor in design build is beneficial to the architect to understand schedule and budget, and in return, this helps the architect make design decisions with these factors in mind. So here is a graph showing what the costs and the efforts and effects are throughout the whole process, from preliminary design to operation. And as you can see, cost of design changes potentially build up at the construction phase. And this is where the architect is most valuable, because this can be negated or mitigated through just verbal communications, being on site, and speaking with the contractor in general. So my last point on budget and time and quality is, as I said before, you can never satisfy all three, but emphasis is usually between quality and time for the designer, and not so much based on scheduling or time. So with just these 4 points taken into account, it is easy to see why many students who graduate with an architectural degree need more construction insight for their career ahead. There's a push for design build firms, understanding the relationship between the architect and the contractor, and students should be more aware of construction documents and how they are involved in both arenas. and architecture students should become more familiar with scheduling or time and budget. Thank you. And audience. Can you guys see? All right.